Have you ever noticed this, or has this ever happened to you? A person doesn't say, I'm sorry, when they're wrong. A person does not accept your apology. A person waits before accepting your apology. How much energy does it take to say, I'm sorry? It's easy and doesn't take any energy to say, I'm sorry. If a person doesn't say, I'm sorry, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel angry, sad, depressed, unloved, unwanted, unneeded, uncared for, unappreciated, unworthy, and so on? How about when a person does not accept your apology? Does it make you feel the same way? How about when a person waits before accepting your apology? Does this also make you feel the same way? Agape, or unconditional love, dictates that both making an apology and receiving forgiveness should be immediate. How much energy does it take to say, I forgive you? I realize that sometimes, depending upon the severity of the trespass, it takes a lot of effort to be able to forgive the other person. Yes, it takes a good, sensitive, strong Christian to be able to forgive someone when he or she has deeply hurt you. Many times it is over a trivial, incomprehensibly stupid misunderstanding. At other times it is over an honest mistake. It is during these frivolous, immaterial, insignificant, irrelevant, meaningless, minor, negligible, petty, superficial, trite, totally illogical, and unimportant times that an apology and the acceptance of an apology should be made. At other times, it may require a lot of prayer and a lot of strength to be able to say, I forgive you. I always try to be a sensitive, kind, understanding, and good Christian. Unfortunately, that is not always easy. Sometimes I respond in an unchristian way. Those times that I do not act as I should, I am very ashamed of myself, and I pray for God's mercy over my soul. Oftentimes I am deeply troubled, depressed, angered, and saddened over the fact of someone not accepting my apology or waiting to accept my apology. In Jesus' eyes, this is totally unacceptable, especially if you are a Christian or if you claim to be a Christian. I might not be totally grown as a Christian, but to me, this is a sign of a weak Christian or a baby Christian. This person is dining only off the milk of the word. This person is not eating the meat of the word yet. If this type of person, continues on the milk, they will never, ever mature as a Christian. This person needs the church's help. This is not meant to be offensive, but it is meant to be truthful. I have had many friends and loved ones to either decide to not forgive me or to wait to forgive me. This is intolerable. It is unacceptable behavior. To all those who have done this to me, I pronounce shame on you. You should pronounce shame on them as well. How dare you? Have you walked in my shoes or anyone else's for that fact? Do you know how sensitive or insensitive I am or can be? Do you know or understand the pressures I am under? Do you know my level of stress? What things can I tolerate and not tolerate? Do you know and understand my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual stresses and needs? Have you been through what I've been through? Are you going through what I'm going through? How about the next person? Do you know what he or she is going through? I dare say that you cannot go through, or that you will not be able to go through what he or she has been through or is going through. Every person's experiences and sensitivities are unique to that person. This should be respected at all costs. No decent person deserves disrespect. It is totally and completely unacceptable to make another person feel worse than they already do by not forgiving them. It is important that an apology be heard and that forgiveness be heard as well. I've even heard of children who have said, "I'm sorry" to either one or both of their parents, and the parent or parents failed to forgive their child. This is one of the worst forms of selfishness and abuse that I can think of. It utterly disgusts me. A parent that is unable or unwilling to forgive his or her own child? Oh my God, really? This is completely, absolutely, and totally inexcusable. If I had a child who expressed an apology to me, I'd make good and damn sure that I forgave them. It is no wonder that some children end up on drugs or get into some other kind of trouble due to the selfishness and thoughtlessness of their parent or parents. It is one of the worst emotional, mental, psychological, and spiritual abuses that there is. All I can do is pray and say, Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy, Lord have mercy. A parent is supposed to be an example for his or her child. How is a child supposed to learn if the parent cannot and will not be a good example for them? What kind of result would you expect? To not be a good example is terribly disgraceful. I do not see how a child could possibly respect or love his parent or parents when either one or both of the parents cannot or will not forgive them. Remember that you reap what you sow. In the Bible, Luke chapter 6, verse 38 says, "Give, and it will come back to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." This is meant for both the good behaviors and the bad behaviors. Additionally, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7 says, "Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres." Notice that the word protects also means forgives. Take particular note of what love is and isn't, and what it does and doesn't do. When Jesus was on the cross, was he too hurt or too angry to say the people who were mocking and abusing him could not be forgiven? No. I am sure that Jesus was in a lot of pain, much more than I could possibly imagine. I can imagine that it was very painful for him to talk, to say what he had to say. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." God wanted Jesus to forgive them. God would have it no other way. To do otherwise would prove that God does not love us and that we are not worthy of his love or forgiveness. Jesus paid an ultimate sacrifice when he decided to forgive those who had mocked and abused him. When you fail to forgive someone else, or even wait to forgive someone else for their error, you are proving to him or her that she is not worthy of your love and forgiveness. you are also proving that you yourself are not worthy of Jesus' love and forgiveness. What if Jesus decided not to forgive you? That would be terrible. What would happen if Jesus decided to wait to forgive you when you die? Perhaps he would say that for every second you waited, he would make you wait as well. For every second we waited, perhaps he would say that every second would represent an amount of time that he would decide that would be appropriate punishment. How would you like your punishment? 0, second for second? For every second, 1, 5, 10, 25, 50, 100, 1,000? What? Seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years, decades, centuries, a millennium? The mere thought of this distresses me beyond belief. It sickens me to my very soul. It scares the hell out of me. For every time that you have not forgiven someone or have waited to forgive them, you have signed and sealed your own judgment and condemnation. That is the way I understand how God works. If you don't forgive, you cannot and will not be forgiven by God. That goes for me as well. I am no exception. Once I had waited for about 10 years before I could forgive the person who betrayed me. I can only hope Jesus will not punish me for that horrible decision. My forgiveness should have been immediate. It is to my eternal shame that I waited to forgive this person who is no better or no worse than me. May God forgive me for my thoughtless, selfish interests. I am sure that God has not taken too kindly to my action and inaction. I believe that I will not be let off easy. It doesn't matter how good I am, or how good I have been, or how good I will be. My sins will be accounted for. I beat upon my chest, begging God for forgiveness for my acts of omission and commission. I am thoroughly convinced that people who are truly inconsiderate and unthankful as being those kind of people who think too highly of themselves and are above thinking of others before themselves. In this respect, they are being inconsiderate and insensitive to the needs of others. They're being untruthful to others and to themselves. They disrespect others and they disrespect themselves as well. They have no real peace within themselves. These are the types of persons who need the church just as badly, if not worse, than I do. How sad that is. They do not have the joy principle within themselves. Jesus first, others second, and yourself last. These thoughts are not only on my behalf, but for all those who may be walking alongside me with these same issues. Please share if you consider it to be worthy. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment. I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, and God bless.